So in this video, we're going to do a review of the latest release by Synapse Films called Thriller, A Cruel Picture. So guys, we will get started right after this. This is going to be a wild one. Welcome back to Pop's Movie Dungeon. Alright everybody, thank y'all for clicking on the video. I appreciate you guys being here today. So, this movie here, if you're not familiar, this is a Swedish exploitation revenge movie that came out in 1973. It was directed by, if I'm going to say his name right, Boarn Vibinus, and I'm sure I just totally screwed that up. But it stars the beautiful Christina Lindberg. Now, I've never heard of Christina Lindberg. I'm not familiar with her at all. But I did find out that she's pretty much just famous for these exploitation type movies and more of the hardcore type movies. But guys, if you're not familiar with this movie, there's a couple different titles. The title that I watched last night was this one here, and that is Thriller, A Cruel Picture. Now, this is the version here that has got all the hardcore scenes in it. And guys, when I say hardcore scenes, there's actual porn in this. We're talking about hardcore porn. And it also has some more of the graphic scenes. Like, as you can see there, the girl's wearing an eye patch. It's no big secret, no big spoiler. But basically, this one here goes pretty hardcore as far as what happens to her eye. You see everything. And we'll talk more about that later on. But I'm going to do the reversible artwork here, guys, and show you on the other side. That's the other artwork you get. But this movie is also known by another title called They Call Her One Eye. Now, that title there is actually a less hardcore version of the film. All the hardcore sex scenes are taken out. The other major difference is what happens to her eye. You don't actually see what happens. They kind of cut before the actual good part. So you guys that are not really into the more hardcore stuff, I would definitely recommend probably checking out the version called They Call Her One Eye. Now this release here comes with 2 discs. You get the hardcore version, Thriller, A Cruel Picture, on Blu-ray. And I do believe this is the first time it was ever released on Blu-ray. The other version, They Call Her One Eye, is included also on a DVD only. So again, there's 2 discs in this, guys. There's a DVD and a Blu-ray. The lighter version of the movie is on DVD, and the more, hardcore version is going to be on Blu-ray. Now, don't get me wrong. Even the lighter version is still going to be hardcore for some people. This is a revenge movie. There's a lot of rape scenes, and it's going to be kind of hard for some people to watch if you're not used to this genre. So this movie here is really in the same vein of other movies like The Last House on the Left, I Spit on Your Grave. It's in that same genre, the revenge, exploitation type movies. And I have to say, guys, this is the first time I've ever seen this one, and I'm telling you, I'm a fan. Now, the movie was done really well, and one thing that I can say as far as we're going to talk about the picture quality of both. Now, I watched this with my buddy Brad last night. We were watching it through Discord, and we were just kind of chatting and bullcrapping as we were watching the movie, and we both kind of agreed on the same thing. The DVD version had a lot less grain. And even though the DVD version was not as bright or as vivid, whatever, as the Blu-ray, it was a much clearer picture. With the Blu-ray, even though things are going to be a lot more vivid, there is a lot of grain in this. I mean, guys, I don't mind a little bit of grain. This is a 1974 picture. It's a low-budget release, 1974 Swedish exploitation film. I'm not expecting them to work miracles. I'm sure they did the best they possibly could. Don't get me wrong; it doesn't look terrible. It's not bad enough to take you out of the movie, but you're not going to get top-notch video quality out of something like this. But overall, guys, the picture quality wasn't bad. There's certain scenes that look better than others. There was one part of the movie where you have like the little hair at the bottom that's kind of moving around the screen. They got a little annoying, but that was only for just a couple minutes. But overall, guys, the picture quality, the sound, no complaints. I think Synapse did a great job. Now, something else about this, guys. I'm sure most of y'all that are into this kind of stuff here probably have heard that there has been a controversy between Synapse and Vinegar Syndrome. And I don't know that much about it. I haven't read that much into it. But what little I know is basically both companies are releasing this film. Now, Synapse released, obviously, this one here. They released it first with a Blu-ray and a DVD. From what I understand, Vinegar Syndrome is going to be releasing this a little bit later in a 4K format. I will be getting the Vinegar Syndrome release as well. So one, I really want to see this movie in 4K, and I'm really interested to see how much better the 4K looks to this release here. But Vinegar Syndrome, if you guys probably know, they released a letter, kind of bad mouthing Synapse a little bit. I wasn't too thrilled with how Vinegar Syndrome handled all this, and I feel like Synapse Films handled this a lot better than Vinegar Syndrome did, guys. But this video isn't about all that. I'm sure you guys can get on the internet and read about all that you want. So, guys, the basic plot of this movie is a young woman rendered mute from a childhood sexual assault. Later in her teenage years, gets trained to defend herself and goes out to seek revenge on the ones that kidnap her and get her addicted to heroin and force her into prostitution. So the basic plot of the movie is this. Our heroine, her name is Frigga, and I did a little research on that name. I thought it was kind of an unusual name. From Swedish mythology, she was queen over the gods and Odin's wife. Odin is, of course, famous for being one-eyed. But as a child, Frigga is sexually assaulted, and because of the trauma, she becomes mute. She doesn't speak anymore. And as she becomes a teenager, she basically misses the bus, and she gets picked up by this slime ball named Tony. And Tony ends up taking her back to his house, gets her addicted to heroin, and basically, after so many days of holding her prisoner, basically turns her into a prostitute. And gets her addicted to heroin, so she really can't leave without going into major withdrawals. And ends up just basically turning her out. And, she gets, sexually assaulted time and time again. And, over time, she has to kind of learn to defend herself. And then she becomes the vigilante that kind of comes back, and seeks revenge. So that's the basic plot of the movie. But I tell you, there are some really hardcore scenes in this movie, especially the thriller A Cruel Picture. Now, guys, I'm telling you, it's kind of, I'm not going to say it's funny, but it's just a little odd the way they throw in the hardcore scenes. And I did find out later that, because you can tell they were kind of shoehorned in. And I found out later that the hardcore sex scenes, which are not done by the main star or the guys in the movie, there's actually a road show that went around Sweden back in the day, and they went around and did like sex shows on the road. It was something weird, but they were called Romeo and Juliet, and they basically got them to shoot those scenes, whatever. So the main star of the movie is not the ones you're going to see in those scenes. Anyway, those scenes are kind of shoehorned in, and basically around this time over in Sweden, these hardcore films were really popular, and I think they kind of threw those scenes in there just to kind of gain popularity, to get people talking about the film. But like I said, they really wasn't needed. I mean, they don't add anything to the film at all. I mean, when they pop up, they're kind of random, and it's just kind of like, okay, what the hell? It was really strange, really odd. And so, like I said, if you do watch the other version of the film, you're really not going to be missing anything, because it doesn't add anything to the movie other than just a really weird factor. And the other major thing is when she gets her eye punctured, and I mean, I'm sure you guys can figure it out, whatever. She has a patch on her eye. The first time she has her first John, her first client, after she gets turned out by the pimp Tony, she basically fights back. And Tony gets really upset over this and basically punctures her eye. Now, the reason why I bring this up, guys, and even though that is mildly a spoiler, anybody that watches the trailer on this can tell what happens. On the hardcore version of this, the thriller A Cruel Picture, you see the scalpel actually go into the eyeball. It actually punctures the eyeball, and it's a little disturbing. And on the other version, of course, it cuts away right before you actually see it puncture the eyeball. Now, what I found out was they'd used an actual dead body. They actually used a cadaver. And so the eyeball that you see getting punctured in the film is the actual eyeball of a real dead person, a cadaver. So that was a little strange. But like I said, guys, they don't pull any punches. And something else I found kind of weird about the movie is, okay, you have this guy Tony that kidnaps this girl. He basically turns her out, gets her addicted to drugs. But what's really weird about it is he basically, as long as she does what she's supposed to do, he'll give her 2 packets of heroin, to keep her addiction going every single day. And this was really strange to me. On Mondays, she gets a day off. So he's this, big, pimp, drug lord, whatever you want to call him. But on Mondays, he gives his girls a day off. So on Mondays, she seems to just roam around and do whatever she wants to do. And during that time, she learns how to fight. She learns karate. She learns how to shoot guns. Learns how to drive cars really fast, like getaway cars. And basically becomes a super badass. And she kind of, just kind of plays along, kind of does her thing, goes with the flow until she can get good enough, whatever, to be able to fight back. Now, one thing that I really enjoyed about this film is when she gets to the point where she's going to start seeking her revenge, the look that they gave her with the outfit she has on, you got the eye patch, you got her holding the shotgun. I just really, really dug that look. I mean, I really enjoyed that part of it. But when she does get ready to seek her revenge, some of the scenes where she's shooting people, beating people's ass, it's done in this really, really strange slow motion. And it's hard to explain how strange it is until you actually see it. But I'll show you a scene here just to show you what I'm talking about. It doesn't really take me out of the movie that much, but it is a little strange. But I would have liked to seen some actual fighting, some actual, regular speed fighting that wasn't slowed down. But that being said, it being so slow motion, her with her cool look, you got this girl beating somebody's ass. It does look very, I guess you would say, artistic. It's hard to explain until you actually watch the movie, but you'll see what I'm talking about when you do watch this. But overall, guys, this movie was very enjoyable. I think that as far as the genre goes, they did it better, maybe even better than I Spit on Your Grave. I did enjoy Christina Lindbergh in this. I felt like she did a great job in the role. This is a 1974 Swedish film. So they're a little odd, a little different. I mean, this is a grindhouse film. Now, it also goes by the name A Hooker's Revenge. I know part of the special features, they show some trailers. And the trailer they show the movie and they call it A Hooker's Revenge. But I wasn't able to find a whole lot of details as far as where it was released under that title. So like I said, there's a total of 3 titles. It really gets confusing on some of these foreign films when they're released under so many different titles. It gets a little confusing, especially if you're not familiar with the film. And I'm just afraid one day I'm going to buy double copies of the film under different names, not realizing it's the same film. It's going to happen eventually. But guys, I'll go ahead and throw up here real fast so you guys can see what the special features are. Like I said, nothing spectacular. You're going to get some trailers. You're going to get some stills. And they do list one of the special features as the DVD of the less hardcore version. But the special features wasn't great. There's not really any great interviews or anything like that. Just some stuff probably for some of the hardcore fans more than likely. I mean, none of the special features really blew me away that much. But yeah, guys, I'll show you again. We'll go over the packaging one more time. There's the front and there's the back. I really love the red on the black case. I'm really a big fan of that. And I'll show you what you get on the inside. Of course, with Synapse Films, you're always going to get this booklet here with like a list of all their releases. Always a nice touch, guys. Of course, you have the Thriller, A Cruel Picture in the red there, and you have Thriller, They Call Her One Eye, and that's again, that's on DVD. You got a DVD here and a Blu-ray there. And I will show you all the reversible artwork. And I'm a fan of both artworks, guys. I just think the red with the black case looks the best. Now, this does not come with a slip. Everybody knows I'm a big fan of slips, but with these black cases, I really don't mind it so much because I think the black cases look fantastic on the shelf. So eventually one day, the movies that I don't have slip covers for, I'm going to try to get black cases for all of them. But yeah, guys, I really recommend this movie. If you're into the exploitation revenge movies, you're not going to find much that's going to be better than this one here. I mean, if you're a fan of Last House on the Left, a fan of I Spit on Your Grave, I definitely believe you're going to enjoy this one here. And I am excited, like I said, I am excited to get the 4K coming out here soon from Vinegar Syndrome. But yeah, guys, Christina Lindbergh does a great job, as a heroine in this movie. You really feel for her through, all the crap she has to go through. And when she gets her revenge, it's done in a really cool way. And something else I thought was really cool about this, guys, is Quentin Tarantino is a big fan of this film as well. As a matter of fact, he had Daryl Hannah watch this film to give her an idea of how he wanted her to play Ella Driver, which was Daryl Hannah's character in Kill Bill. So when you watch Kill Bill and you see Daryl Hannah with her eye patch and the way she kind of plays that character, all that came from this movie. So if you're a fan of Kill Bill, if nothing else, watch this because you really can see Daryl Hannah's character in this character here. It's really cool for me being such a huge Quentin Tarantino fan to go back and see some of these films that kind of inspired him to make some of my favorite movies. Guys, like I said, it's a great time. If you're not into the hardcore porn stuff, stay away from the Cruel Picture and go after They Call Her One Eye. But I mean, either way, guys, I think you'd have a great time with this film. It was a good time. It's definitely one that I'm glad to have in my collection. It's one that I will go back and visit often. So yeah, guys, great release. It's so far this is up there with one of my better releases of the year. So yeah, pick this up, guys, and I'll keep your eye out for that 4K coming from Vinegar Syndrome. But guys, thank y'all for watching. Please like and subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I will be back with more reviews real soon. I'm trying to get better at these reviews, guys. The reviews is probably the thing that I'm probably the weakest at when it comes to this channel, and it's something that I definitely want to get better at. It's definitely an art to do a good movie review. But as they say, practice makes perfect, guys, so I'm going to keep at it. It's something that I really want to kind of, do more on this channel because I love talking about movies. And what better way to talk about movies than to do an actual review and give your thoughts on it and have some good feedback. So guys, please leave some comments down below and let me know what you think about this film. Let me know if you're going to pick this up. Let me know if you're a fan and you're excited to see this on Blu-ray for the first time. And guys, you know, like I said, I'm a fan. I'm a new fan of this film. But I will be back soon, guys, with more reviews. I have got a pretty good update video coming up. Just give y'all a little tease. That's what I got so far, guys, for my next update video. So that should be coming out sometime later this week, guys. Again, I appreciate everybody, all the support. Thank y'all for watching, and I will be back soon. You guys take care.